getting his hair cut, and a woman came in and shot.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, this situation right here is crazy, but it's way more common than people think, and although the person who took someone's life will always get the bad end of the stick, sometimes people do things for reasons we may not know. Now in this situation, we have a woman who is said to have had it all by herself before meeting a man that she would end up having a kid with, and according to sources, it's like he came into her life and everything just went downhill. She was good on her own, and if anybody needed a helping hand, then it'll more so be the man that she thought that she could trust. They built businesses together, but as soon as things got salty between the two, he would go behind her back and remove her name from businesses, some in which she started on her own, leaving her with kids, bills, and no hope as she watched her dreams disappear along with her finances. It seemed like she had enough and reached a boiling point with her back against the wall with only one thing in mind, which was to take not only his life, but her own as well, leaving the kids that they shared with no parents and a bunch of questions left behind. Now it's easier to judge, but how would you feel if everything you worked so hard for is now gone, and you have to watch someone you no longer get along with reap the benefits of everything you worked so hard for? This story is also interesting because there's always three sides to every story: your side, their side, and the truth. Some people close to the situation and friends with both parties say that it's more to the story and there's many narratives being put out there that may be false. Some say it was over greed, some say it was over alleged STDs, and others say that it was due to a court filing earlier in that day, which was ruled in the baby father's favor, whereas Michelle felt like she may have been cheated by the courts. So out of pure emotion and rage, she took not only his life, but her own as well. Do you know how mad you have to be to not only take somebody else's life, but take your own after because you rather not deal with anything anymore? It's very unfortunate, but let's get into this video. Before we do, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm, and if you not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it. There's a lot to this story, so I'll try to provide as much information as we were able to dig up concerning this incident, because to be honest with y'all, I do understand both sides. I disagree with someone taking someone's life by all means, but I also understand from the perspectives that's been presented about everything that went on behind the scenes that the public may have not been aware of. 37-year-old William Todd Austin was known as a credit repair specialist stationed in Arlington, Texas. To some, he was not only a credit specialist, but he was a chef, an all-around good person to the people that loved him, and they said he was harmless. However, not everybody would feel the same, and some would say that he had a troubling past. On the other hand, T-Mone named Michelle Williams was a woman who was very well established on her own, good job, house, and took care of her kid. Legend has it that when her and Todd got together, she was the one that taught him the credit game and helped him start businesses. A friend that knew Michelle would make a video responding to all the negative comments of people speaking down on Michelle Williams based on what she did. Y'all check this out.
I give her HIV. He was not cheating on her at the time of the murder-suicide. In fact, they haven't even been together in over a year. Yeah, Michelle came from nothing. She built herself up as a veteran, as a successful business owner, her knowledge, the things that she knew in order to get money to take care of her kids as a single mother. When she met Todd, Todd was living downtown Dallas under a CPN number. He did not know how to do credit repair. She taught him how to do that, and they built this business, Credit Champs, together. Whenever they broke up, because I see he's been sending his clients the video when she pulled the gun on him. She wanted him out of her house and he would not leave. There's an active restraining order right now against him. Terroristic threat against her and her son. He threatened to kill them both. Okay? Todd reversed all of Michelle's mortgage payments up to I think 18 months, probably more, to the point where she was about to lose her home. How he did this is because they have a joint bank account. He removed her off of the bank. I don't even know how he could have even did this, but he removed her name off the bank because she had no access. He created a new email for everything to go to, not the email that they had. Michelle went to Vegas one weekend, and she came back, and all her money was gone. Now, could you imagine having $250,000 or even $500,000 in your bank account, and now it's zero? You can't pay your mortgage, you can't take care of your kids, he's threatening you, he's not giving you nothing for your kid, okay? Michelle had several cases against this man, okay? Me, as well, had a lawsuit that I just won and got paid off a day before the murder-suicide. Michelle was suing him for a lot. He was taunting her by still promoting this company, still making money off this company that they built, not giving her access to any of the money. He also wrapped a Cypher truck, was riding past her house. She could see it on her Ring camera. He was taunting her. She was so full of debt. She was about to lose her home. The air went out in her Tesla. It was just a lot of stuff going on, and she had $0 to deal with her situation. She reached out to family. She reached out to people to help her, and only a handful of us helped her, okay? So with all this stuff that y'all got going on about he gave her HIV or she was cheating and it's more dick out there, it had nothing to do with that. That man stole her whole life, and he flaunted it in her face. Todd also took her $10,000 settlement payment that she got from the military. When he got access to her phone, he drained her personal account, locked her out of her business accounts, wouldn't help her with her son. So all of this stuff, I just want to clear the false narrative. He is not who you think he was.
So here's the restraining order that Michelle had against Todd. Now, if you didn't catch what she said, let me sum it up for you so you can get an understanding. The friend says that before Todd met Michelle, basically he was down bad, living off a CPN number, which is the only reason he wasn't homeless. Michelle looked out for him and was more like a blessing to him than he was to her, because she added the value to his life by teaching him how to do credit repair, which will allow him to have some of the materialistic things you see him with, also helping him make money as he helped others and charge him a fee too. They had joint bank accounts, so when the two had a falling out with each other, he got sneaky and reversed a bunch of mortgage payments and also took whatever money they had together in the accounts and removed her from them. Keep in mind, she mentioned that prior to this incident, the two have been broken up already for a year. The problem wasn't that Michelle was jealous or cared too much about him. It was the fact that he stole everything she worked hard for, allegedly. According to her and others, after taking everything from Michelle, Todd was all over social media flaunting his lavish lifestyle and making it look like he got to where he was all by himself, but in reality, it was one big facade. Could you imagine someone stealing money from you and you have to watch them live this luxury lifestyle on social media while you struggle and damn near lose it all? You go to the police, but they don't do a thing neither. Imagine how that could make somebody feel. Here's a screenshot of Todd trolling her after everything he did, as he spoke to another female who would expose the DMs after everything transpired. Todd is gray and she's blue. He sent her a picture with laughing emojis She responded saying the comments is crazy. My ex so mad still don't stop the motion. Damn, what you do to her? Leave her? LOL. Now with social media being social media, people will come out the woodworks with their own stories of occurrences they had with Todd. One person would say, quote, "This guy here is the biggest liar and snake I've ever encountered. He should tattoo run in bold directly in the middle of his forehead. He lies about the many number of children he has made and left the mothers to pick up his slack and raise. The same mothers he so harshly disrespects. This mugshot is when he was arrested last month for violating his 5-year protective order for domestic violence. He's being sued for stealing the whole business from his ex. The crazy part is how he plotted and schemed his way into stealing all her money in their business. It's 50/50 LLC, and when I say he swiped everything and brags about it all the time. He pillow talks after popping pills. His goofy ass homeboy Brandon or B, Vic and Alex are all losers. They literally steal and boost from Neiman Marcus and Gucci. He doesn't have any real friends. He from KC and moved to Dallas to run from unalivened charges. He says all his BMs are crazy, blah blah blah, and doesn't help them out at all, never have and never will. Some of his children he has only seen like twice ever in life. Now another user would say, quote, "Ladies, he has 9 children, only claimed 2. He is currently $200,000 behind collectively on child support for all of his active cases. How has he gotten away with it for so long? Because he hides his money in his locations under LLCs and doesn't file taxes on any of his business. But he claims to have a tax business, which is not his, it's actually BC business. Those are her initials. I know her T as well and what they're applying. As far as the credit repair business, he sells your information on the black market, so when you get those crazy out the blue spam calls and kickbacks when he disputes your credit accounts, well, actually, he is sending your personal information to someone in Pakistan to do the disputes. But he hates when you miss those monthly payments. You actually sell those accounts on the black market faster, shaking my head. He laughs at all his customers. Now we also found a woman who seemed to have dated Todd in the past, and she had something to say herself about Todd. It's pretty lengthy, as she broke down in detail the time she spent with him. She would take to Facebook to say, quote, "Greed is real, the real story. I've talked to close friends and family. At the time they met, she was a single, very stable mother with everything. Good job, retirement check, homeowner with a few cars. Todd did not have the resources or success people often believe. In fact, he had a history of deceptive behavior and was not financially stable. Their relationship moved quickly, but they were never married and were only together for a few years. They had a mutual agreement that Todd would move out of her home and that they would amicably separate their shared business. Although he initially moved out, he became increasingly hostile and began returning to her residence uninvited. This led to her to obtain a restraining order against him in March. After moving out, Todd removed her name from their shared business bank account, changed the associated email, and withdrew all funds, approximately $96,000, leaving her without access to money she needed for living expenses. She had not been working due to caring for their baby and was relying on those savings. He also found a way to access and withdraw funds from a personal account. Further compounding the situation, Todd filed fraudulent disputes on 18 months worth of mortgage payments that she had paid from their business account. This resulted in a foreclosure notice in July, demanding $55,000 or requiring her to vacate the property within 60 days. Since he had removed her name from the business account, it was difficult for her to contest the fraud claims. Meanwhile, Todd used the misappropriated funds to purchase a Cybertruck. Legal proceedings followed, focusing on the division of their jointly built business, Credit Champ. Last week, the court ruled in Todd's favor, granting him full ownership of the business and all 3 vehicles purchased under its name. Despite a significant role in starting and growing the company, she was left with nothing, no business, no income, and only a few cents in her personal account. She had attempted to reach a compromise, asking Todd for $20,000 to help her and the baby stabilize, but he refused and responded cruelly, stating F her and the baby. Sheesh. She was not driven by jealousy. She was desperate, soon to be homeless, and had been completely stripped of everything she held billed. Also, she did not have HIV. I'm not here to bash anyone, but I do have a personal story to share. A real one, based on my own experience. I was in a relationship with William Todd Austin for nearly 2 years, during which we dated while he was between the ages of 24 and 26. It was a wild and emotionally draining experience. After about 22 months of dating, I made the mistake of allowing him to move in with me. That's when everything took a darker turn. At the time, I was, and still am, a business owner, and I exposed him to a different level of lifestyle and business insight. I introduced him to entrepreneurship, from selling hair to clothing, and he learned a lot from me. Unfortunately, rather than showing appreciation or giving credit, he took what he learned and passed it off as his own, never once acknowledging where it came from. It became clear over time that he was trying to mimic everything I did, every business idea I had, he tried to copy. He presented himself as a nice guy, but the reality was different. Behind closed doors, there was a pattern of manipulation, jealousy, and dishonesty. Despite his charming behavior in public, he had narcissistic tendencies and constantly blamed me for everything. Child support letters started arriving, multiple each month, addressed to him with different names. When I questioned him, he claimed he only had 3 children and that others were falsely attributing kids to him. His explanations never added up, and when I asked why he didn't communicate with his kids, he blamed toxic relationships with their mothers. As our relationship deteriorated, he began lashing out verbally and behaving recklessly, even taking my car out without permission while I slept. His resentment grew as I continued to succeed financially, and the lies only intensified. After just 2 months of living together, I asked him to leave. That decision didn't come without consequences. After the breakup, he began stalking me, attempted to break into my house and businesses, and even created fake social media accounts where he posted intimate photos of me without my consent. I had to obtain a restraining order and begin the process of filing charges for non-consensual P, a felony offense. Once I sent him proof of the legal action, he backed off and took the content down. Looking back, it was a difficult but valuable lesson. I saw him recently at Club Echo in Dallas, and he appeared calmer and more content. I thought maybe time helped him grow. I take full accountability for ignoring red flags and allowing the situation to go on as long as it did. But I've learned and grown from it, and I said never again. Sending prayers up for the kids. Greed, domestic violence, and mental health is so real.
What's the code? Hey, why the code ain't working?
Watch this.
Why the code ain't working?
Todd, look at this. Watch this.
Why the code ain't working?
Watch this.
Why the code ain't working?
Please calm down.
Why the code ain't working? Ain't no code working. She changed the. She changed it.
July 11th, 2025, at approximately 10:15 a.m., Michelle Williams entered the Salon and Spa Galleria, located in the 7800 block of South Cooper Street. Witnesses say Todd was in a barber chair getting a haircut when Michelle walked up without saying a word and began firing shots, striking Todd multiple times. After shooting Todd, she attempted to run out the door, until she seen Arlington police arrive to the scene. After spotting officers, she ran right back into the salon and then proceeded to shoot herself. Todd was pronounced deceased on the scene, while Michelle was taken to a nearby hospital where she eventually succumbed to her injury.
It's listed as a, but I know man, it's a domestic situation. I can tell you that much. It's a domestic situation where a dude was getting his hair cut. A dude was getting his hair cut, and a woman came in and shot him, and while he in the chair while he getting his hair cut. So that's how that's going. And I just don't understand. I just don't understand how many different versions on how she ended up deceased. I got someone shot. I know it ain't police shot her because it'll be blocked out down the street, so ain't no police shot her. So, but I did get 2 birds, and I'm gonna wait till they come out. Or someone shot her, so. But it's supposed to be 2 people deceased. Allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly. Dang, I should have put on a caption, allegedly 2 people. But for sure, the dude getting his hair cut is deceased guy.
Now, it's been known that a lawsuit was filed against Todd by Michelle to retrieve some of the finances that was taken by Todd. However, the court wouldn't rule in her favor, and she was left with nothing. Literally, nothing. And I guess this was a motive because maybe Williams felt like she exhausted all of her options and the law was the last step. Once she felt they couldn't help her, I guess she decided to take matters into her own hands. You have to be on your last straw to go and do something like this, where you're not only willing to take somebody else's life, but you're willing to take your own. She knew it was no way that she could escape after doing that brazen thing, and she knew jail just wasn't going to cut it for her. So who knows? But then again, it's no telling what someone would do when they feel like it's nothing else to live for, when they lost everything that they worked so hard for. And to be honest, I also think that the courts failed her, the banks failed her, police failed her, everybody. How was he able to clear all her money without her approval and the proper steps needed to do such things? Y'all jump in the comments and let me know what y'all think about all this. How do y'all feel about this situation? Rest in peace to both parties. It's unfortunate. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. I'm out.